Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless work, career, vocation, being recorded in March 2022. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Production since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, available on Kindle. Link in the description box. Creator on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. Maybe you've heard of it. I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. I'm in a good mood with everything going on planet Earth. It's nice to tune to the higher dimensions. If you are new to the channel, this is a 3-level of power reading. There's a link in the description box to a YouTube video by Carolyn Myss, MYSS. These are her archetype cards we're going to start with in a few. Talking about the 3 levels of power, 3 lenses to look at any situation in your life, in this case, life purpose, through work, career, vocation. I'll explain that as we go. There are chakras involved, and usually this is a 12-card spread. But because I took a trip to see my family in Saratoga, went to the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs, saw Veronica, the owner, a friend of mine, read her cards, and picked up the chakra reading card. So now it's a 13-card spread, and I am psyched to use it. So we're going to use the usual suspects, but then we're taking one of those at the end because I love this new deck. So it is a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because there might be leverage, work in one, career in another, vocation in a third, finding a way to unify them all. I will say, I don't like using this terminology, but I am sort of living my dream in terms of work, career, and vocation. I got it all in alignment. It took a lot of sacrifice, but I find now in retrospect that what I had to sacrifice was what I wanted, but not what I needed. We always get what we need, but if it's not what we want, you know, it can slow things down. So maybe this will be helpful. Other than that, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. This is a timeless read, so you can certainly compare them to one's past. If you like, there is a playlist on my channel, and it's in whatever those things are called at the end of the video that you can click on, whatever. So let's do this, shall we? I'm ready. I did my prayer. I did my breath work. Here we go. Breathe. And let's help you find some fulfillment in your life purpose, shall we? As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of work, career, and vocation, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra, and above. What are the 3 dominant 8th chakra archetypes hovering over the head of the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, showing us the soul powers being developed in each. We'll start with the 1st level of power, lower 3 chakra dominant, but what's the 8th chakra hovering above that, affecting what they attract and repel in their work, their survival stuff, what they do in the world to survive. Show me their career. Heart, third eye crown dynamic, 2nd level of power, the spiritual, the mental, the will, choice, decision power, and the emotional power, what they hunger and thirst for, what they yearn for, what they burn for, their creative intuition, please. 8th chakra dynamic. We're doing these face down. Usually I do them face up, and that's why. Please leave the card in my hand. Heart, third eye crown, the career archetype for the Aries collective and for their vocation. 8th chakra dominant, 3rd level of power, their mystical power, right? Their visionary intuition, the star that guides them, that calls them forward, their vocation, their calling. For this timeless work, career, vocation read. These are in the title. Let's see how brave you are A trickster and a bully and a gossip. Now, they told me this time around to actually put them in the title in the reverse order, because this would make you someone dealing with a gossip, bully, trickster alignment, right? So you go from the 8th chakra down, taking from inspiration, bringing it down into form. So the trickster archetype is wild card family. The bully archetype is action card family. The action card. Did I say that right? The trickster is the wild card family archetype. That's what I meant to say. Bully is the action family of archetypes, and the gossip is the creative family of archetypes, and it's all neutral, shadow to light, lead to gold, but everyone's on that percentage scale somewhere. Let's talk about the trickster. The shadow of the trickster archetype, manipulating others through duplicity. Now, we all have to deal with that in the world, right? This is lower 3 chakra dynamic, what you do to survive, your survival intuition, paying attention to what the lower 3 chakras are saying. But be aware if you are being manipulated or if there is duplicity going on in your workaday world. Now, not everybody gets paid by their work. Myself, for example, the work that I do is setting up the cameras and getting this together, right? The prayer, the meditation, I don't get paid a cent for that. The scheduling, the editing, no. I'm the president of the company and I'm doing that all myself at the time of this recording. But I get paid for the readings, right? For my career, as a spiritual, mystical, intuitive artist, right? So check the deets, unless you are the one doing manipulating others through duplicity, particularly if you're trying to get the hell out of somewhere. But I understand that, right? It's like, I'm not telling them until I have my next step in place. The light attribute, though, I love a good trickster. Transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Be a lot of fun. See, shadow and light, they're all neutral. It's all led to gold. In your career, you've got the bully archetype. Now, this might not necessarily be you being a bully or being bullied as much as it's bullying yourself. Heart, third eye crown dynamic, the feminine energy inside you, the world behind your eyes. The shadow attribute conceals deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. And who says that can't be turned towards yourself? Or maybe you're dealing with a bully situation that is helping you move into the light, highlights your tendency to intimidate others, helps you confront the inner fears that bully you. Like, particularly if you do let your light shine at full capacity, right? If you are authentic, that bullies people. But there's nothing I'd rather than be duplicitous, right? So you got to find that out. What are the fears? How are you bullying yourself in your career? Well, it's not going to make enough money, and how am I going to, terrifying yourself in terms of taking action family archetype in your career. And the gossip, the gossip in its shadow, we know. Right, we just know it, right? And certainly she phrases it really well here. Thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information and betraying confidence, is thriving on it. I don't gossip. I'm under vows of confidentiality to my God's blood vows. Thank you very much. I take them very seriously. I do like some celebrity gossip, but that comes with the entertainment industry. This is different. But the light attribute awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. And I will tell you, counselors who have the gossip archetype can get their clients to talk about anything because they're a safe space. Yeah. So think of the creativity that can come here by maybe listening to the gossip, by not bullying yourself with it, and transcending the stuffiness and the predictable behavior. The gossip, bully, trickster. Yeah, that's how they're read, archetypes. You go Cosmic, Kairos, Chronos. Sacred Contracts, Carolyn Myss. Worth the read if you have the time and the skill of introspection to find what your archetypal chart is all about. So let's look at those heart, third eye, crown chakras in each level here with Daughters of the Moon Tarot, a feminist deck, a goddess deck. The yin energy, right? Go deep, go in, go yin. How you're experiencing this on the inner in this read. Breathe. As I call upon my goddesses of fire. Sign of Aries. Powers of the South, please. 3 cards. We'll turn these up one at a time. Face up. What's going on? Heart, third eye crown for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work. Trickster in the 8th archetype, 8th chakra archetype. What's heart, third eye crown? Sagittarius. This would be the Knight of Wands. In traditional tarot, this is the crone of flames, Ceridian. It's Celtic. Good luck. I've heard it pronounced 10 billion different ways. But definitely a goddess of transformation, stirring her cauldron, mutable fire, changeable fire. This could be absolutely, when it's heart, third eye crown, a court card is more about the house dynamic and the vibe of the element itself. So Sagittarius, 9th house, expansion. You don't know how many Sagittarian tricksters I've dated, let alone worked with. And I love a good, fun Sagittarian. But that manipulation and duplicity, however, could be tricky, sticky. So if this is you, and you have to play the game, maybe saying one thing to a boss and another to a coworker, that's understandable. But that is saying that there is a yearning for freedom inside of you, if that is the case, or you are transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior, and it's usually, like I said, a sliding percentage scale of lead to gold, shadow to light, toxic to healthy, pain to peace, fear to love, blah, blah, blah. My goddesses. The bully in their career in the 8th chakra. What's going on there? Heart, throat, third eye, and crown. Please, their interior world. This is heart, third eye, crown, dominant, the career. And we've got the witch. Yes, coming into alignment. Certainly the card of the magician in this deck, aligning fire, earth, air, and water with spirit, your desire, your actions, your fire, earth, air, your thoughts, and your emotions, aligning it with your spirit. First card of the major arcana, the Fool, is a 0. It has no number, so it really can't be the first or the last. It's the liminal zone, right? It's the space in between the worlds, so to speak. So this is a real initiation, starting something. Now, if that is the case, that you are playing tricky, because you're planning something, you're bringing something into manifestation, taking something, as I said, from the 8th chakra, that light, that cone of power over her head, bringing it down into physical form. Well, why wouldn't you have fears that might be intimidating you about that? Well, but if I do that, and what if they find out? And, you know, well, that's your element of air that needs to be addressed, certainly. But go into spirit, right? Draw down. Do the magic. Do the internal creative work, whether you visualize or not, right? Bring together your fire, earth, air, water, your heart, third eye, crown. And cast for it on the inner, right? Intend it. Put it into the quantum field. My goddesses, the gossip in their vocation. 8th chakra dynamic here. The gossip, creative family archetype. Such a nightmare in the lead, but incredibly creative and helpful in the gold. What do they got going on there? Heart, third eye, crown. All right, the moon. The moon, I really want to go with, it's the intuitive part of it, and that is true. But it's also saying that things are probably cloudy with the chance of meatballs, vegan or otherwise, particularly with the gossip archetype. What you're hearing in gossip, with the information being passed around there, it says to me that it is occluded. It's not all true. There might be some manipulation and duplicity just going on in your work, career, vocation in general, but I would certainly say with the moon to really pay attention to what you feel like your life purpose is, because that might be cloudy, right? Well, I'm trying to create my reality, right? A creative family archetype. But, I got these fears that are scaring the crap out of me, and it happens to all of us. It's, fear is not a sin. It's part of the game down here. But I have these things that I want. What I want is changing. I'm transforming. I want my freedom here. How you do that and stay on your path without gossiping, right? Tricky. Honor, trust. Let's look at the lower. Those first 3 cards, once they're down, then the rest of them are fast. Let's look at the lower 3 chakras, completing the set of 8 for each. Work, career, vocation, the masculine energy. You from the outside looking in at yourself. You from the inside looking out on someone, something, someplace. Regardless, lower 3 chakras are about relationships. Root chakra is groups, tribes, circles of people, everything from, you know, there's so many different ways to look at it, right? Your political affiliation. I was a member of the Bad Reputation Nation, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. By the way, dress for the job you want. Be a sensation. I just thought I'd put that out there, right? Like the Wonder Woman devotees. I don't like the word fan. It's short for fanatic. I'm not a fanatic. It's a toxic devotee. So all of those different root chakra things, including corporations and offices and workplaces, right? Second chakra, one-on-one relationship, perhaps with another person or thing. And solar plexus, your relationship to yourself. Your honor code, your boundaries, your self-esteem, your own personal intuition that no one else gets but you in that moment. What you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't. Please take a nice deep breath. You try explaining that every single time you do these readings. Oh, here we go. Very different vibe altogether. I can feel this as I call upon my gods of fire. Sign of Aries. Powers of the South, please. 3 cards to clarify what's going on in the lower 3 chakras here for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video. Receiving this reading in their life purpose, work, career, vocation. In their work, they've got the Trickster in the 8th, Sagittarius, Kerwidwin on the inner, and on the outer, they got the Fool. I think you are looking to have a leap of faith, and you're creating that on the inner. In terms of your career, this really looks like someone who has to be a little duplicitous, a little sneaky, to get out the door, right? To jump into something new here. Your fire has expanded. You just want to explore new terrain and have your freedom to do that. And that is Dionysus jumping off the cliff. I love the mythic tarot. So, you know, he's a wild man, but he was a great revelator, right? He reveled as well as he brought through revelation. Oh, garbage truck is here. Do I have to pause this, or are we just going to bear with it? It's like watching an Autobot flagellate itself once a day. No, I think we're just going to keep... Please pardon the noise in the background, my darlings. Right? So, everybody plays the Fool sometimes, but you are between the worlds. You might even be, in a way, between jobs, or at least not in the one that you really like. It's not serving you anymore. So you might have to be a little tricky and transcend stuffy behavior. Yeah. In their career, bully in the 8th, witch, magician on the inner. What's going on, lower 3 chakras here for the Aries? And we got the 3 of Wands, willing to wait for it, willing to pledge your loyalty, willing to watch those ships come in. Now, I think that is a wise strategy. As you work through and bring into alignment the fears that bully you. But, you know, if you don't give voice to those fears in a healthy way and just repress them, they come back at you like late at night or all at once, you know, when you're having a bad moment, right? So really have the loyalty to yourself as an Aries to kind of go in and say, well, my alignment on this needs to be, and I'm trying to find a way how to do this where it stays in alignment with my spiritual ideals and principles, right? So let's look at that in their vocation. The gossip archetype with the moon on the inner. It's very cloudy, but I think also could be very emotional in terms of not knowing what to do, like being at sea with the tide being pulled by the moon, but it also being cloudy. So please, what's going on lower 3 chakras for the Aries here? 4 cups, dissatisfaction. Definitely a sense of rest. I would say don't gossip right now, for sure. Honor the trusts that you can. But it does feel like then the source of the gossip, because by the way, in the Mythic Tarot, the Four of Cups is the myth of Eros and Psyche, and the Four of Cups are Psyche's sisters coming to say, well, how do you know he's a god? He won't let you look at his face. He could be anybody, right? Literally putting poison in her ears. Well, sorry, not literally, symbolically, right? Metaphorically. Poisoning her mind in that way, gossip, right? So she ends up, well, why he won't let her look at his face is part of the myth. He's the god of love, son of Aphrodite. She's a mortal woman, right? So he's like, I want you to love me for me, not just by my glamour, by my magic, right? Understandable. But they marry at this point. They get married in the Three of Cups. This is the Four. So this is someone coming to pee in someone's Cheerios, right? And say, well, you know, and you know what? Look at the picture. Look at her sister on that side. Like whispering in her ears. How do you fucking know? You don't. How will you know if he really loves you? Oh, how will you know? All right, gossip. I would say that might be clouding things, but also really go with your intuition of how you want to create with that, right? What you want to do with that until things are clear. You know. We'll skip the deck. The Healing Mantra deck by Kahn. We're not going to book this one because we're booking the last one. That last chakra reading card. And I'm familiar with these, having worked with them personally and professionally for over 2 years. The Ascended Masters of Work-Career-Vocation. Let's see. What are the healing mantras to help you with this? Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the Ascended Masters of Life Purpose through the archetypal lenses of work, career, and vocation for the Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading. It's an interesting read. I can feel the through line here, but what is the perfect healing mantras to help them heal their work, career, and vocation, bringing their chakras into alignment for their fulfillment of their life purpose here? Many things, not just one thing. So what do you got for their work? Trickster in the 8th, Ciridwen, Ciridwen, Maiden of Flames, Knight of Wands on the inner, Dionysus, the Fool in the lower 3 chakras on the outer, and we've got Exploring Unity Consciousness. I am one eternal light appearing as all. I think this is going to help you really maintain your spiritual balance. With what's going on planet Earth right now, with Russia and the Ukraine, is so crazy. War is certainly a manifestation of the illusion of separation. If you know you're one with everyone and everything, why would you? Right? Here's your opportunity to ground this. Exploring unity consciousness. I am one eternal light appearing as all. Now that might seem a little bit much for your workaday life, but I guarantee you, instead of trying to, be a light worker, you be that light, because at core, that's what we all are. And if you want to Uncle Albert Einstein, E equals MC squared. Everything is made of energy. This is the more mystical interpretation of that. I am one eternal light appearing as all, meaning even the people that you're trying to trick, right? Okay, they got the Bully in the 8th of their career, Witch on the inner, 3 of Wands on the outer, and I can see them. They can do this in a more graceful way, taking a leap of faith, right? Maybe even telling the truth, transcending the stuffy behavior by saying, no, look, I'm out of here soon, and there's something I'm waiting on here. I'm putting things into play. I'm bringing things into alignment on the inner with that Witch. And that 3 of Wands on the outer. I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to do this wisely and well and in a loyal way. So what's their perfect healing mantra to help them do that? Please make it specific for the Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in their career, heart, throat, big time, third eye and crown. Unhooking the past There is nothing to regret when I learned from my past. Well, that certainly speaks to the fears that intimidate you. But what if what happened before happens again? Hey, no one gets a guarantee. It took Moses 40 years in the desert, right? Oh, I could give you more examples. I could give you a lot more examples from all over human history of that one for sure. But it's unhooking the past so you don't have to repeat it. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past, because only the ego regrets. The soul does not, and the personality is caught between the two. Who are you going to listen to? That's your choice, your decision. And those voices that bully you, they may very well be, well, back in the day, we used to call them the tapes that you play in your head. Now tapes don't exist anymore. The MP3s in your head, whatevs. So there's nothing to regret when you learn from your past. Bring it into alignment. You're going from the Fool into the Magician here. Certainly a moving upwards in terms of the major arcana. So maybe there needs to take the time to kind of clear some of that stuff out. And that throat chakra thing is there when I cough. That says you may not want to talk about this with people just yet. That could be part of this Three of Wands waiting. See what I'm saying? Particularly with the gossip on the table. Maybe you've dealt with gossips just in terms of you learning something invaluable about your life calling, your vocation. Let's see. Breathe. Ascended Masters, what's the perfect healing mantra for the Aries collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their vocation, their calling. Gossip in the 8th, the Moon. Yemaya, beautiful card, can be very strong intuitive direction and guidance there. May not make sense so much in the third eye, but heart third eye crown, major arcana hits all of those, no matter what the major arcana card is. So there is an intuitive alignment here. But things may very well be cloudy, particularly with that Four of Cups. There is a dissatisfaction. It does feel like gossip. It does feel like very little of it is true. Or what is being revealed there is really setting off a chain reaction here to bring one to be duplicitous, to try and maybe get out of there. So please, what's the perfect healing mantra for them? This, in this timeless path of true love. Read. Acknowledging apprehension when it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, it's always a no. And I put in that in parentheses my own editorial for now. Because sometimes it's just you need a nap. Sometimes you need a Snickers. Sometimes you just got to take care of you. And it does feel like that with our Three of Wands. You need to take care of yourself here to really deal with it, particularly if you were bullied in your past. I was. Oh, come on, I'm the youngest of 4 in my family. Shit rolls downhill. And I was the gay kid in school in the 70s. Yeah, I'm 53. I know, I don't look it. Thanks. Rapid wrinkle repair, blessed be. So, we could be bullied by gossip, absolutely, but you might have the ability to stroll out of, if not a work situation, then to stroll out of this gossip loop in a way that transcends the stuffiness, the predictableness of this, by getting that, I'm exploring unity consciousness here. I'm one eternal light appearing as all. So throw as much shadow as you want. What happens when you throw shadow at light? It ceases to exist because shadow is the absence of light. It's not a thing unto itself. Let's add the new card. How exciting. So what you're doing in your work, career, vocation, you're exploring unity consciousness, unhooking the past and acknowledging apprehension. Totally makes sense in that. So if you put the mantras together, man, they really, really help. Well, for example, if you want to do it from the crown chakra, the 8th chakra down, you reverse the flow. When it's a yes, nothing can stop me. When I'm unsure, it's always a no. There's nothing to regret when I learned from my past because I am one eternal light appearing is all I get it. Write them down. Write them down. Write them down. the new deck, the Chakra Reading Cards by Rachel, R-A-C-H-E-L-L-E, by the way. Rachel Charman, C-H-R-M-A-N, by Rockpool Publishing. New publisher for me. Love this deck. Please take a nice deep breath. Yeah, and why not? As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, this deck has not been consecrated to a pantheon. I guess you guys are it. Still point. As I call to the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. This is the first official YouTube reading. All I've done so far is an unboxing, link in the description box. Please, higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, give us our 13th and last card on the table. What is the chakra reading energy, right? Put it through the, put it, what do they call that thing that boops around radiation, right? Give us an energy reading, a temperature reading. What is the oracle? It's not an oracle, it's a reading card. What is the message, the dominant chakra energy that they can focus on here to help them align their leverage, their chakric leverage? I like that a lot. For the Aries Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation. Root chakra, balance. Root chakra, balance, card number 6. And I don't need the magnifying glass for this. Kind of love that. It's not in micro nano font for a change. Kind of digging that. It's a brand new book. Pretty card too. You got your yin yang going on here, which we have on the table. It's built into the spread. You ready? These are long, but they're worth it. It ends with an affirmation, so work it. Balance. Base chakra. Root chakra, card number 6. You have called this card into your awareness today as an indication that balance is required somewhere in your life. Would make sense for the Fool, balancing that fire with the Trickster, right? Oh, like a fool, like a jester, juggling fire and doing tricks. Mastering balance is certainly a work in progress and a powerful master key to a more harmonious and enjoyable life. We live in a physical world of polarity with day and night, hot and cold, yes and no, in and out, up and down, wrong and right, black and white. You fight, you make up. You fight, you break up. You kiss, you make up. Katy Perry. We live in a physical world of polarity with day and night, hot and cold, and the forces of nature are constantly working toward a state of balance in everything. Living a life of balance is the ultimate goal. When you can walk your path with no judgment and realize that everything has an opposite, life becomes less stressful and flows with ease and grace. You may have been feeling out of whack as of late. I can see that on the table here. Take a moment to see what is out of balance in your life. What have you been putting too much energy into or focusing on? Like the gossip, like perhaps the bullshit that you gotta, the duplicity of this situation perhaps? Or what requires a little more attention? Those fears that are bullying you. If you have been putting too much energy and effort into something and feeling stuck, then it's time to let go and allow the natural flow of balance to take place. If you've been ignoring something and not giving it the attention it requires, now is the time to give it some love, care, and focus. That does feel heart, throat, third eye, crown, the career level here. It could be thoughts in your head, relationships, work, family, or a new project you are working on, which could be on the table here too, for sure, with the Fool and that 3 of Wands there. Once you find where the balance is required, take action and positive steps to allow the natural flow to occur. There is an old saying that too much of a good thing is not always the best medicine. Balance is the key. It is time to let go and stop pushing or trying too hard. Surrender and allow balance to bless your life. This card can also indicate that balance may already be present and you have been taking the right steps to allow it to flow into your world. Your affirmation: I am balanced in all aspects of my life. I like this deck a whole lot. Root chakra balance. Let me put this together for you, as I do at the end of all of my readings, with a little bit of a blessing, because the more you're fulfilled in your work, career, vocation, life purpose, maybe it'll calm down some fucking war on this planet. You are, after all, ruled by the planet Mars and named after a Greek god, except he's ARES and you're ARIES. There's no I in Aries. Please take a nice deep breath. Except it's all eyes for Aries first. Sign of the zodiac. As I call upon my pantheons of the divine and the pantheons of the divine for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, may they be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, life purpose, that in their calling they may awaken consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust, though things are perhaps cloudy, but for them to go to their intuition and really pay attention to the outside, that there is some discontent, there's some blah, there's some gossip going on here. So for them to acknowledge their apprehension, because when it's a yes, nothing can stop them, but when they're unsure, there's always a no. That's probably a lifelong thing for all of us, right? But that in their career, they really need to highlight their tendency to intimidate others, which can be by shining their light. That doesn't mean they have to hide their light under a bushel. New Testament helps you help them confront the inner fears that bully them, so that they can bring this manifestation, this inspiration, into physical form with loyalty, with honor, worth waiting for, while they unhook the past. Because where are those fears? Is this stuff from childhood bullying them to come up, right? Because there's nothing to regret when they learn from their past. That's the point of all of it. So that in their work, they can transcend convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior, because they got that Sagittarius, Archer, galloping, mutable fire, Caridwen, stirring the pot, the cauldron of transformation, getting ready to take a leap of faith, to start the cycle over, either where they are or into something new, but for them to explore unity consciousness, acknowledging that they're one eternal light appearing as all, is certainly going to keep their work, career, and vocation gently coming into alignment as they bring themselves into balance. Root chakra balance, really talking about work here. This feels like this is where their leverage is, and may they take advantage of that leverage, fulfilling their role in the divine plan by aligning their work, career, vocation, all 8 chakras and 3 levels of power for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be. And so it is. And that's a pretty good read. I love this deck, if I didn't mention it. And if you loved it too, hit that thumbs up. Help the other Rams find it. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, right? And if you want more of me here on YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because I'm putting these out when they are done. Because I got clients, and I got cats, and I got company to run, and, you know, being a planetary empath has its perks, but I gotta watch the news too, right? So thank you so much, and if you really want to go deeper and come play Patreon on patreon.com/drawingthecircle. I am your Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. You can call me Mal, and it's always an honor and a pleasure. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, vocation. Reach out for a private read if you want. Linky in the description box. Now, farewell, and blessed be.